Welcome to It's the Dave Show, and I'm Dave. Today I'm going to talk to you about my studio camera. It's a Panasonic GH5. Yeah, it's about a 5-year-old camera, but I've been using it for commercial and personal usage. So things like my review channel here and also YouTube, as well as commercial usage for small business commercials and photography and model photography and landscape photography, all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to tell you about a little bit about the camera, and we're going to talk about basically is if this camera is still good to use today based on today's standards. So I'm going to take a closer look at it, and we're going to stay tuned till the end of the video, because I'm going to show you some examples of some of the things I've been able to do with this camera. I'm going to take it off the stand, and we're going to take a closer look at it with my overhead camera, talk to you a little bit about it, and then show you some footage. Okay, here's a closer up of the camera itself. I've had this for 5 years, but I try to take care of my cameras pretty well. But this camera, it was basically ahead of its time in the features. 5 years ago when it came out, it had more features than a lot of big name brands. And still to this day, some of the features in this 5-year-old camera are not even available on the newest brand new cameras by other manufacturers. It does have a nice little screen out here that does flip around, articulating screen, which is really cool. And then the side here, you've got a microphone in jack, you've got your headphones, and you have a full-size HDMI plug-in, which again was the very first of its kind back when this came out. And also you have a USB-C connector. Again, remember this is 5 years old, so this was like, again, way ahead of its time. But great little port connectors there. Even the battery compartment has a little flip out here for when you put a dummy battery in and it has a cord, this thing comes out to do the cord. A lot of cameras don't even have this little piece to it, which is kind of cool because I use a dummy battery quite a bit in the studio. Your connectors there. And turning this on, of course you have your dial, switch, and modes. I'm not going to go through all the bells and whistles and features of this because it is available online, so you can see all the features to it. But it has a lot of really cool things. It has your little indicators, your lighting indicators, and all kinds of stuff. One thing this camera has, which even some of the brand new cameras don't, is the 180 degree, or they're called shutter angle. So you can set it to 180 degrees versus shutter speed. And shutter angle is used on video or filmmaking cameras, high-end cameras. But even the latest Sonys don't even have this kind of feature to it. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of bells and whistles. It's a really cool camera. This is a 20 megapixel photography camera, so your photos are going to be fantastic. You can change your displays, all kinds of stuff on here like that. Now also in the menu, let me go through, I'm trying to go here. It can go up to, here's a 4K, 23.98 or 24 frames per second. This is 422 10-bit, all intra recording. So again, for the video camera, when this came out, nobody had the 422 on, especially for something for this price range. You can do, there's all kinds of stuff. There's different settings in here. See what's that, 2460. Here we go. Here's a 4K 60. It's a 420 8-bit, though. You don't get the 422 10-bit on the 60, which some of the newer cameras do have that. But for the most part, I don't use it very much. So it's got a lot of different codec settings for all kinds of stuff, from 4K to HD, and it's got variables and all kinds of stuff. It also has that feature that does anti-flicker as well. But again, tons of bells and whistles and features. I just wanted to show you guys this camera real quick, and I want to show you what I was able to do with this camera. Even though it's a 5-year-old camera, I still use it again in the studio and also for client production work. So for the price, you can't really beat this. Now this lens on here, this is a micro four thirds. So this is a 12 to 35 millimeter lens, which the equivalent in full frame is a 24 to 70. So if you look at like Sony and Canons, their 24 to 70 lenses are out to here, you know? And then this one here is a 35 to 100, which is the same focal distance as a 70 to 200 lens, which is out to, I can't even show you on the camera because it would be way too big. So the form factor is super small and tight. I think this camera would be good for vloggers or for people that are traveling that want to go small and light but have a very good powerful 4K camera and 20 megapixel camera. This thing works really well. And these lenses have the stabilizing built into it, as well as the camera body, and Panasonics are known to be one of the best in internal stabilization. So you really can't beat it. And for the price, if you're just starting in camera, video, and photography, this particular model may be a great one for you. You should definitely check it out. Now let's roll some footage of some of the things I've been able to do with this camera and these lenses.
To love again.
Feel good, I can't help but feel fine. Everything is in its place and all of it is mine.